The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Melissa Chen walked to the podium. Her footsteps echoed across the crystalline floor, each step measured and deliberate. Behind her, Lieutenant Liam Harper stood at attention, his uniform crisp despite the 72 hours they'd spent traveling through 3 jump gates to reach Nexus Prime. The assembled delegates, representatives from 47 species across the known galaxy, watched with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Humanity was still the newest member of the Council, barely a century since first contact. To most of the ancient civilizations present, humans were children playing at diplomacy. "Honored delegates," Melissa began, her voice steady despite the weight of what she carried. 3 days ago, the colony world of New Brisbane was attacked. A ripple of disinterest passed through the chamber. Border skirmishes were common. The hegemony of Krath had been testing humanity's resolve for months, probing defenses, making calculated strikes. It was the galaxy's way of establishing pecking order. 17,000 civilians are dead, Melissa continued. The Krath didn't target military installations. They didn't engage our defense fleet. They glassed the agricultural settlements from orbit, farms, schools, hospitals. Councillor Vexthor, a towering reptilian Krath, rose from his seat. His scales rippled with what his species considered amusement. A regrettable incident. Perhaps humanity will learn that expansion has consequences. We have filed the appropriate paperwork. Reparations will be discussed in the standard time frame, 30 solar cycles, I believe. Melissa's jaw tightened. 30 solar cycles, nearly 3 years by human reckoning. She glanced back at Liam, who gave her the slightest nod. His eyes held the same cold fury that burned in her chest. "No," she said simply. The word hung in the air like a blade. Vexthor's crest flared. "Excuse me?" "I said no." Melissa reached into her diplomatic case and withdrew a data crystal, placing it on the podium. For the last century, humanity has played by the Council's rules. We've filed our grievances through proper channels. We've waited for committees to convene and subcommittees to review. We've watched our people die while bureaucracy ground forward at a glacial pace. "This is how civilization functions," interjected High Arbiter Quellen. "An ethereal being of pure energy contained in a crystalline vessel. We have procedures, laws. Without them, we descend into chaos." "Your procedures protect predators," Liam spoke for the first time, his voice cutting through the chamber. "Every species here has been raided, attacked, or threatened by the Krath, and every time the Council recommends sanctions, investigations, reparations. Meanwhile, the Krath grow bolder." Melissa activated the data crystal. Holographic images filled the chamber. Surveillance footage from New Brisbane. Fields burning. Evacuation shelters vaporized. A school bus melted into slag. Children's toys scattered in the scorched earth. "You want to know why humans agreed to the Council's weapons restrictions?" Melissa asked. "Why we decommissioned our kinetic kill vehicles, our nuclear arsenals, our AI-guided weapon systems? Because we believed in this institution. We believed that civilization meant protecting the weak, not filing paperwork about their deaths." "You accepted Council law," Vexthor snarled. "You are bound by it." "We were," Melissa agreed. Past tense. The chamber erupted. Delegates rose from their seats, voices raised in dozens of languages, translators struggling to keep pace. Quellen's crystalline form pulsed with agitation. "You cannot withdraw from Council law. The treaty is binding." Melissa waited for the chaos to subside. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet, but it carried to every corner of the vast chamber. Article 73 of the Founding Charter. When member species survival is threatened, and the Council fails to provide adequate protection, said species may invoke Sovereign Defense Protocol. "We're not leaving the Council. We're simply declining its protection." Liam stepped forward, placing a second data crystal on the podium. As of 0600 hours this morning, the United Earth Fleet left Sol space. 63 battle cruisers, 400 destroyers, 900 frigates. Our carrier groups have been activated. Our marine divisions are mobilized. "This is madness," Vexthor roared. "You would start a war over one colony?" "No," Melissa said, and her smile was terrible to behold. "We're finishing one." She activated the second crystal. Fleet positions appeared across the holographic display. Earth ships surrounding every Krath military installation, every major world, every supply line. They'd moved with a speed that shocked the Council. Human jump drives, built on technology the other species had dismissed as crude and inefficient, had allowed them to position forces across a quarter of the galaxy in under 3 days. "You have 30 hours, Melissa announced. "The hegemony of Krath will stand trial for war crimes. Your military will surrender. Your government will submit to investigation and prosecution. Refuse and we will dismantle your empire world by world. The Council will never allow this." Quillan's light flared bright enough to hurt. "The Council has 47 votes, Melissa said. "Humanity has 47 fleets. Choose which one matters more." She gathered her materials and Liam fell in step beside her as they walked toward the exit. Behind them, pandemonium consumed the chamber. Threats, demands, desperate calls for order. At the doorway, Melissa paused and looked back. "For 100 years we held back. We let you believe we were weak because we valued peace. We followed your rules because we wanted to belong." Her eyes swept across the assembled delegates. "You mistook restraint for inability. That ends now." New Brisbane wasn't just an attack on humanity, Liam added. It was an attack on everything the Council claims to stand for. You had a choice, protect the innocent or protect the status quo. You chose wrong. They left the chamber in silence, their footsteps echoing like drumbeats. Within the hour, the Krath High Command transmitted their unconditional surrender. Within a day, 3 other aggressive powers that had been testing weaker species quietly withdrew their forces and issued formal apologies. The Galactic Council would never quite be the same. Humanity had taught them an ancient Earth lesson. Peace is not weakness and patience is not powerlessness. Some lines should never be crossed. The galaxy had finally learned which ones mattered to humans. And they learned what happened when those lines were violated. And